If there's one thing our childhood hero is good at, it's losing important battles. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's Pokemon. That's actually probably the only thing I'm good at, but today I wanted to give one of those there challenge videos a go. You know, try my hand at it or whatever. Anyways, I decided to take Ash's OG Kanto squad and see how it does against Leon, because why not? Unfortunately for me though, we're going to be down a member, but that's okay because we adapt and overcome around here. Also, to add to the challenge here, I added a few extra rules for myself. I can't use items like potions or revives. Held items were okay in my opinion, so I went ahead and used those. I also was not allowed to Dynamax because, well, Ash couldn't Dynamax, but I guess he can now, but we're going by OG. Anyways, let's meet our starting team.
In my time. Yeah, rolling, I can never get enough. I've been up too long and I way too drunk, but we straight up in it and we.
First up, we have everyone's second favorite mouse, Pikachu. Because we all know that Stuart Little is your first favorite mouse, right? Pikachu is holding the light ball because what else would you give it? It's also got Thunderbolt, Iron Tail, Double Team, and Volt Switch. Next we have the suspected carry Charizard. I've got Charizard rocking the Clout Goggles to boost his special attacks by 10% with Shadow Claw, Flamethrower, Sunny Day, and Solar Beam. Our third and probably the MVP team member is going to be Squirtle. I've got this little homie holding an Eviolite to give its defenses a little oomph, and it's got Scald, Dragon Pulse, Substitute, and Ice Beam. The oh-so-useless Bulbasaur has a similar setup, holding an Eviolite with Bullet Seed, Poison Powder, Safeguard, and Razor Leaf. And finally, we have the Janitor Kingler with its Choice Scarf. It's rocking High Horsepower, Superpower, Guillotine, and Liquidation. And just to quickly run over Leon's team, by the way, I didn't do any research before going into this, I just kind of winged it, so yeah. Leon's rocking an Aegislash, Rhyperior, Dragapult, Rillaboom, and a Charizard. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so this was actually a bit more difficult than I anticipated, and it actually took me a couple of tries before I was able to crack the AI's code and launch myself to victory. So basically, I'm smarter than a computer. Anyways, in this first battle here, I decided to try and go for an Ultra Cheese strat with Pikachu and spam Double Team, until I realized Aegislash has Sacred Sword, which always hits, so Pikachu is dead. So now I bring in my Charizard in hopes that he'll carry. So I go ahead and set up the Sun, and lucky for me, Aegislash gets paralyzed. I hit him with the Flamethrower, and that's one Mon down. Since I set my Sun up, Charizard gets to let loose a turn 1 Solar Beam and takes out Leon's Rhyperior. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident in myself and my team. We got this. Easy, right? Well, that's what I thought too. And then Dragapult dropped a frickin' Draco and did the damages to me. But after 2, he's at a solid -4 special attack. So here I decide to do a quick switcheroo to the boy Squirtle to soak up that next Draco Meteor and set up a sub like a king. Now I know that unless Dragapult crits the sub, I can live. So I go ahead and Ice Beam this bane of my existence and use my tiny Squirtle to take out this gorilla here. That is until it uses High Horsepower for some reason and absolutely obliterates my sub. Now I'm sent into a frenzied panic and go into Charizard, get hit with a knockoff, and pretty much wipe from this point. Here we're going to go ahead and skip to the 5th match since it took me 6 tries to beat Leon. At this point, I decided to switch some things up and hit the drawing board to actually plan out my strategy. I buffed everyone up a level to start things off. I didn't want to be too over leveled, but I feared that I may have been a tad under leveled. I kept Pikachu as my lead, and since I knew that Aegislash would either go for a defensive or offensive start, I decided to go straight for the Volt Switch. Better safe than sorry, right? Anyways, since I know it has no choice but to go for an offensive move now, I Volt Switch into Charizard expecting the Sacred Sword, which is resisted by Charizard's Flying type. I was expecting the defensive play on this turn, so I go to set up my Sunny Day, which will not only boost my Fire type attack, but again allow me to set up for Rhyperior. He does the unexpected and hits me with a Shadow Ball, which we end up living, so it all works out. At this point, I know Charizard has at least 2 of Leon's next Mons under his belt, so I'm not too worried. I hit Aegislash with the Flamethrower, which kills, and Rhyperior with the Solar Beam, which also kills. In comes Dragapult, which does in fact drop a Draco and my Zard, but also loses 2 special attack. From here I go into my Beast of a Squirtle, and knowing I can live a few Dracos, I set up for my next OP strat against Rillaboom. I found that with Rillaboom, as long as my health was below a certain amount and I had a sub up, it would get caught in a loop of using Endeavor, which has no effect behind a sub. So that's my master plan and path to victory. Now I know that I can live 3 Dracos behind a sub, and it's going to take me 2 turns to kill Dragapult with Ice Beam. A crit, which of course Leon gets here, so that's pretty much a wipe from here. But let's give it one last go, shall we? This time I opted to lead with Charizard and set up the Sunny Day first turn. Since I knew he would go for a King's Shield, I would get myself a free turn here. Then I hit it with the Sun Boosted Flamethrower and prayed to the higher powers that it would kill, and much to my satisfaction, it did. And what do you know, I hit it with the all-powerful Solar Beam to secure 2 Mons under my belt yet again. Leon's greatest threats to me are his Dragapult and his Gmax Zard, but I decided to leave my Zard out here to eat up a Draco, and then switch into my sleeper OP Squirtle. I know I can live a couple Dracos and go ahead and Ice Beam to get his health down low, as well as mine. You'll see why in a second, but after this next Draco I go ahead and get behind my sub, which again I know unless he crits me will take 3 hits to kill. So I finish it off with an Ice Beam, and in comes Rillaboom. Now here I get some freeze hacks, so that was pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. After 3 Ice Beams, Rillaboom drops, and out comes Charizard. We've made it to the last Mon. I know he's going to first turn Gmax because he's Leon and can't hope to win without it, but I go for a Scald to at least get some damage off. I literally just needed to keep it from using its Dynamax Fire move and setting up Sun. I try and stall out another turn with Protect here, assuming I would die, but I actually lived it. Anyways, Squirtle managed to waste all of his Gmax turns, which I thought was really impressive. I then switch into Pikachu hoping to kill, that gets KO'd instantly, and now I'm panicking again. Thanks to my big galaxy brain, I realized my Kingler still had a Scarf, so I switch into it and KO Leon with a clean liquidation to secure my sweet victory. And now you know why Bulbasaur was useless, because it literally did not do a single thing here. At most he would have been a death fodder, but anyways, I digress. Anyways, that's that on that. It was a lot of fun doing a challenge video like this, so I might just have to do more. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to hit that like button, dislike if you didn't, and subscribe for more Pokemon content. Maybe even ring that bell if you're feeling spicy enough. I plan on doing more of these versus Leon videos, so hopefully the Sword and Shield expansions come through with some more Mons. I'd really like to do Cynthia. That'd be pretty fun. Anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today, and I'll see you in the next one.